GTA fans are pissed at the announcement and reported rumor that Grand Theft Auto 6 could be delayed until 2026. We're going to be talking about that reaction in this video today, but honestly, why this shouldn't be surprising. So before we get into some of the reaction of this happening, let me just take you through a history of Rockstar games and delays. And we'll begin with the Grand Theft Auto series since that's what we're talking about right now. Grand Theft Auto 3 was delayed 3 weeks. This one made big headline news because Grand Theft Auto 3 takes place in New York, and it was set to release around the events of 9/11, so Rockstar respectfully delayed the game a couple of weeks, made some changes to that title. It was pushed back 3 weeks. GTA Vice City was delayed by a week. Same with GTA San Andreas. Nothing major there. It's when we get to the more modern games that you see bigger delays. Grand Theft Auto 4 was delayed 6 months. It was supposed to come out in 2007, ended up coming out spring 2008. And Grand Theft Auto 5 was delayed 6 months as well. It was supposed to come out spring 2013, ended up coming out September 2013. So that's the history in the GTA series. Now let's move on to the Red Dead Redemption series. RDR1 was delayed by a month, so not that big of a deal. Red Dead Redemption 2 was delayed by a year. Remember, that was supposed to come out fall 2017, and ended up coming out October 2018. That has been, as far as the most recent Rockstar games, the biggest delay, but it's certainly not the biggest. Then we jump over to Max Payne. Max Payne 1 and 2, no delay. Max Payne 3 had a delay of 2.5 years. Now, there was a lot of issues going on with that game, so this is kind of the anomaly and the outlier here. I don't think GTA 6 is going to be met with the same fate, where we're looking at like 2027, 2028. Oh my gosh, I think people would go absolutely insane. Some Rockstar games you might not be totally aware about: Manhunt 1 and 2. Manhunt 1 was delayed by a month. Manhunt 2 was delayed by 3 months, so not terrible. And then LA Noire, that was delayed by 3 years. That was super significant. But remember that was a Rockstar Games title that they really didn't develop initially. They sort of jumped on about halfway through, and then Bully received no delay. So excluding a couple of outliers and looking at Rockstar Games' most recent titles, Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5, I think that's really our obvious answer here. If there is going to be any delay, it's going to be one of those two amounts of time. I don't think it's going to be shorter than 6 months, but I also don't think it's going to be longer than a year. It's going to be sometime in between that. Hopefully, it is not a year where it takes us into 2026, which is where the reported rumors are right now. And hopefully, at a minimum, if there is anything, it's only 6 months, which takes us from early 2025 to late 2025, very similar to what happened with Grand Theft Auto 5. And so now let's take a look at some of the reaction from some of the big-time players in the Grand Theft Auto community. Tom Henderson, the owner of Insider Gaming, he's actually had some leaked GTA 6 details before. He said, "I'm not even sure what to make of the Kotaku article on GTA 6. No info is new and just seems to be trying to stir the pot based on Bloomberg's reporting. Spring 2025 is targeted and is suggested via Take-Two Interactive's earnings increase in fiscal year 25. Holiday 2025 is likely, though, based on past releases and Take-Two Interactive's tendency to delay. Also a reason they gave a vague 2025 date on reveal. And then never say never, and a 2026 release is possible, but this just screams covering all bases and creating some online chatter based on previous reporting that already suggests a delay from spring 2025. And honestly, that's kind of what I talked about earlier. It seemed to be piggybacking off of the Bloomberg article we covered a couple of weeks ago that Rockstar Games employees would be returning back to the office as the final push to complete GTA 6 was here. And the one thing we really will have to keep our eye on, and honestly, this is not only when I think we'll figure out when the game truly will be releasing, but also when we'll officially get more information from Rockstar, and that is the next earnings call for Take-Two Interactive. And Derek Strickland over at Tweaktown ended up basically saying the same thing, looking into the potential GTA 6 delay news. And here's a quick reminder that both Take-Two Interactive's pipeline and revenue forecasts have not been updated to reflect recent events. Those updates will come in May 2024 when Take-Two Interactive announces its full fiscal year 2024 results. following up by saying, "By recent events, I just mean the general industry trends like layoffs and any specific internal stuff that we don't know about, delays, cancellations, etc." And this prompted many more responses from several reputable members of the GTA community, most notably Rockstar Games InsiderTZ Funds 2, who ended up chiming in saying this: "Frankly, this isn't surprising. I'm not sure why some folks saw Jason Schreier's article and focused on the final push of development part, while the rest of the article indicated a sign of production falling behind. Some were hoping the game would come out sooner than expected, that the production is actually ahead of schedule, and that the leadership is letting developers work as comfortably as possible, whether in the home or from the office." And that's a really good point. Even though there were some positives that, yes, we are trending towards the final stages of development, it wasn't a positive trend towards the final stage of development. It was having to rush everyone back to the office, not confident that the game would be completed on time, and thus here we are talking about delays and possibly being pushed out of its initial release year. So that part is not good, and InsiderTZ Funds 2 said that this should not be surprising, and he followed up as he responded to one person who said, "I'm not a development expert, but wouldn't this conflict with Jason Schreier's article a few weeks ago anyways about final stages of development? How would it go from that to this? LOL." And he said asking, or more like forcing developers back into the office as the game enters the final stage of development, citing security and productivity as the reason behind the decision, isn't a sign that production is going accordingly to plan to be confident of the early 2025 window. And so, unfortunately, this just sort of brings more bad news to a game that has been either A, shrouded in controversy, or B, being leaked out the wazoo. And there's so much more reaction that I really didn't get to cover in this video today, but honestly, that's the gist of it. A lot of people that A, aren't surprised about this, or either B, critiquing the Kotaku article for really not providing any more relevant information and just simply having their own speculation that the game could slip out into its release year of 2025 and into 2026. Rockstar is really the only one that knows the answer to this, and we won't really probably hear from them until May 2024. Thankfully, that isn't that long away, probably about another 30 to 45 days. Typically, Take-Two Interactive held their earnings calls early on in the month. And of course, if any news comes out regarding that, I'll be sure to keep you guys covered. But I understand this is going to be a very passionate and discussion-heavy video, so please let me know in those comments down below what you think is going to happen to Grand Theft Auto 6. Do you think it's still going to come out in early 2025? Do you think it'll slip to late 2025? Or do you think it'll come out in 2026? Boy, I hope not. But let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.